How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Voyager gives up finding buyer, plans to liquidate after FININCIAL goes bust. In a Friday filing, Voyager said that the number of digital assets on the platform that cannot be withdrawn will be liquidated and returned to customers, which includes Algo, CeeLo, and AVAX. A number of other major cryptocurrencies on the platform will not be liquidated but returned to customers in digital form, albeit a rate of 36%, which includes Aave, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and 65 other coins. Former customers will receive some form of reimbursement soon, the failed firm said on Twitter. We are hopeful that initial distributions will begin within the next few weeks. New York Attorney General introduces legislation to protect crypto fraud victims. The New York Attorney General has introduced some legislation aimed at protecting cryptocurrency investors from fraud. The law will force cryptocurrency firms to refund victims of fraudulent activities. So basically, their goal is to add like a FDIC layer of protection into the crypto sector. This is a framework that already exists for traditional finance, for banks and other financial institutions, so they're just trying to extend it out to the crypto area. Developer inserts bug in Bitcoin Ordinals. How bad is it? There's fresh controversy brewing in the Bitcoin Ordinals community after a developer under the moniker SuperTestNet initiated a transaction that had no input or output, but nevertheless, it went through. This resulted in Ordinals' inscription numbering system crashing, sparking concerns that the whole protocol may now be broken. Ordinal inscriptions, also known as proof of ownership inscriptions, are essentially a way of attaching metadata to a specific Bitcoin transaction where you need a pool of Bitcoin to do so, and you can't do it to one single coin, or so we thought. Ordinal inscriptions are recorded directly on the blockchain without need for a sidechain or separate token. The transaction in question did not include any satoshis, and was found on block 788,200. Philosophically, the satoshi was inscribed and given to the miner as a fee, so the coin never even made it to the person. It just was given to someone as a fee and never even got to the wallet of the person that inscribed the coin, which is a bug. The Ordinals creator, Casey Rudmer, agreed that it shouldn't be possible to inscribe stats that you don't own, suggesting that this is indeed a bug. So they have are working on fixing the indexing, and the founder of Bitcoin Lightning platform DZ says that this isn't a big risk, it's just going to break the numbering system. However, he thinks that the numbering system has already been broken before and no one noticed. So, onto the charts. Over on the daily, we got a big red spinning top candle here for our dominance, so bit of indecision on the bearish side. Stochastic RSI are starting to roll, and our stochastic's getting close to a bearish cross. Momentum is pushing down, so that curl for a green dot looks like it's starting to get kind of faded away. And our money flow is trying to come up, but our VWAP is pretty flat. So on all our altcoins except Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are getting a little bit of a pump here, so money's going from Bitcoin into our altcoins. Stochastic's running up, RSI's running up, money flow's starting to inch up, VWAP's starting to inch up, and our momentum is trying to curl with a green dot. Over on Bitcoin, we are in an upwards channel, which is a bearish pattern, so this could eventually break us down. Called this out this morning on Twitter, so that could break us back below this and to the point of control, which I would say is our likely next move, and if we don't find support there, then we'll go to the value area low from there. But our stochastic looks like it's about to start to round off, RSI is starting to weaken, we're trying to push higher, but RSI is not going higher, momentum's not really going much higher, money flow's not really going much higher, and our VWAP's struggling to keep going too strong. Over on the 4-hour, stochastic's real close together, RSI is pretty flat, momentum looks like it's about to round off, money flow's starting to come out and could retest the neutral zone soon, and our VWAP is starting to head down as well. So we're not looking too good, and we're coming to the top of this channel, so if we don't break bullishly out of it unexpectedly, then this channel could end up breaking us down the next touch we get, as that'd be our third touch to the bottom, but you could always go a few more. Nonetheless, stochastic's getting a bearish cross, RSI is starting to kind of flatten out, momentum's starting to round off and taper, our VWAP is starting to taper down. It is somewhat curling above the neutral line, so we might get a little resistance to breaking bearish, but our money flow overall is struggling to maintain a direction one way or the other. Currently is in the bullish territory, trying to head up. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is starting to run up, but it has a red dot that could drag us down. Momentum's overall heading down, money flow's starting to point down, and our VWAP's very indecisive. Futures, nothing too new here. Graph, we got a little bit of a hammer candle, so if we do get a bullish candle after this, that would be a bullish setup for some sort of a rounding bottom here that could break us back into this channel. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is pointing upwards, so got a little bit of strength there. Money flow's inching its way up, trying to head up, but it keeps rejecting this neutral zone. We do have a red dot in the momentum wave that could reject us down, so be wary of that. Over on the 4 hour, we have a little bit of a reversal arrow here, so that could suggest that the previous trend is ending, which the previous trend was a down channel, which down channels are bullish, so it's likely we'll break out of that eventually. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is starting to curl though, so even though it has a lot of strength, it's starting to curl away. Our VWAP is somewhat starting to curl, so we're getting a little indecisive. These curls are kind of saying we could fall, but this arrow is saying we may pump. Money flow is trying to inch its way up, momentum's trying to come up but could curl, so we might get a little bit of a breather, retest down, and then maybe a pump out after that. Over on the 2 hour, we do have a green dot that should suggest that we'll get a run up since we had that reversal arrow. Usually those give you a run up, but not always. As you see, this time we failed, this time we failed, but this time back here we did run up. Stochastic's starting to round off. RSI is kind of flattening out, VWAP's starting to round off, momentum's starting to curl off, our money flow is trying to come up on the 2 hour. So the 2 hour looks like we could get some sort of a cross into the green sometime soon if the 1 hour is anywhere near the green. So the 1 hour is somewhat trying to break bullishly, so if it can break bullishly strongly and maintain that, then that can lead into the higher time frames. Stochastic's starting to round off, RSI is starting to flatten out, momentum's starting to round off, and our VWAP overall is heading out and getting close to the neutral zone and could break, so that's a little concerning for us. Over on Anchor on the daily, we got almost a bullish engulfing candle, so this could be a tweezer bottoms here, so we could be setting up some bottoms on some of these altcoins. Our momentum is trying to curl up with a green dot that could confirm. RSI is trying to get a green dot and push up with stochastic running up. And our money flow is trying to head upwards. VWAP did slightly break bullish, so hopefully that gets some more strength. Over on the 4 hour, we are getting a bit of a reversal arrow suggesting our previous trend could end, so we just explained that. Stochastic's starting to round off, RSI is starting to head up, momentum's starting to come up, our VWAP is kind of starting to round off though, so watch out for that, and our money flow looks like it's starting to reject away from the neutral zone, so the bears could end up with some control short term. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's getting close to a bearish cross, RSI has a red dot and is starting to point down. Momentum's starting to point down, VWAP's kind of flat above that neutral zone, money flow is trying to break bullishly, so if that can break bullish and maintain, that'll be good for us. Over on XRP, we are getting a little bit of a push off the bottom of this flag. Stochastic's kind of giving up some strength though, so we may get a little bit of a drop tomorrow. Money flow is trying to push up, momentum's trying to push up with a green dot. RSI is trying to inch up. Our money flow is kind of flat though, so not too strong on the daily here. Stochastic's trying to push up, but really doesn't have much room to go, and our RSI is pointing down, suggesting it wants to give up strength. Momentum's starting to curl, and our VWAP's starting to flatten out, so our money flow's struggling to be bullish or bearish currently. Over on the 2 hour, we are trying to get a bullish trend on our money flow, so if that can keep going and get a good cross, that would be good for us. Our stochastic is pretty overbought, but that also means we have a lot of strength, so that could lead into the higher time frames. RSI is kind of flattening out, momentum's starting to round off, and our VWAP is starting to come down. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic's trying to kind of head back up. RSI is starting to point down with a red dot. Our momentum got a red dot that confirmed. Our VWAP is trying to break bearish, but struggling to break that neutral zone and trying to kind of dip back up. And our money flow is in a bullish trend right now, so if that can maintain and keep going up, that would be good for us. But if we start to curl and get close to that neutral zone, we could break this trend again. And last but not least, for algo, we have a bullish engulfing candle here, so that is a good pattern for us that could help us push up off of this, kind of make like a bit of a cup here. Our stochastic's trying to round up, RSI is trying to head up, VWAP's trying to push up very slightly, our momentum's trying to inch its way up, and our money flow's trying to come in. So daily's looking alright. 4 hour money flow was bullish, however now it's starting to go bearish, so that's not good for the daily. Stochastic's starting to round off and could give up strength, and our RSI is about to do the same. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's gone pretty flat, doesn't really have anywhere to go. RSI's gone flat as well, momentum's about to curl off. Our VWAP is very weak, about to break the neutral zone, but our money flow is trying to maintain a bullish trend, so that is good for us on the 2 hour. On the 1 hour, might be a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder here. If we kind of break, kind of a slanted one, so if we can push up, that could push us forwards. But for our indicators, momentum's kind of pushing down, stochastic's starting to push away, RSI is kind of flat, so that's not too good for us to kind of push up out of this. But we do have a lot of doji candles, so that's why we're kind of flat. VWAP's getting pretty tight, but our money flow is trying to push up. So if that money flow can keep going up, that might be what could save us and pump us forward here. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.